Guys, my testimony. I mean, I've been here at New Hope Church for coming on to about 9 years. I've known Pastor Matt now for 9 years. So essentially 9 years ago, I was a very different person. I was living a very different life. I was doing many things that I shouldn't be doing. I was going through a period of my life where I was quite depressed, and I did like my recreational drugs as well, and that started to increase as I got a little bit more depressed in life. And yeah, it was not a great place that I was at. But guys, what actually happened is I had a very strong praying mother who was praying for my salvation, and I would argue with her all the time. And one particular time when I was arguing with her, I said, "Mum, stop. Look, if God wants to show me that Jesus and the Bible is the truth, I'm sure He'll show me either in a few months or in a few years." Hey brother, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm Eddie.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. I already did.
Hey bro, just while Eddie's doing his talk, why don't you come over here and grab a cup, alright? Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, so guys, so essentially, there was a moment where I said to my mother, "Hey, stop. I'm sure God will show me in a few weeks or a few years that Jesus and the Bible is the truth." And guys, after I said that, God actually revealed Himself to me within that next week, and it was very strong, it was very powerful. It was in a way that I could understand. And guys, that's probably the biggest thing I can say for each and every one of you guys is, getting to know God. It's a personal thing with you guys, and God meets you where you are at, and He meets you in the way that you'll understand as well. So you'll hear many testimonies, but all the testimonies are very different, okay? Because God meets you where you are, and God wants to have a real relationship with you, and that's probably the biggest thing that I can say to any of you guys. It's not about picking a religion or picking a right way to go or this and that. It's about having a real relationship with the real Creator, the God that created everything that you see around you. He created that. This world doesn't exist from nothing. That's, to think that we came from nothing or we came from random chance, it's just ridiculous. If you see a painting, there's a painter. It's the same with God, and you can get to know God. And God met me in a real personal way that week. And by the end of that week, I could feel His presence. It was strong, and it was saying to me, "I've shown you now, what are you waiting for? I've shown you now, what are you waiting for?" And it was mind-blowing for me. So I grew up in the church, but I never crossed over and made that commitment. But for me, it really had to be touch and feel, and God made it touch and feel for me. And at that point, actually, that's when I met Pastor Matt. And I kept seeing the number 316 as well a lot. I loved my numbers, and I tried to, match the numbers with what I saw in reality and everything like that. I remember thinking about it really strongly, and I picked up my phone one day and it was 316. The time was 316. So it was very interesting. But I met Matt, and I was telling him the same story. And to be honest, I was telling him about quite a lot of stuff at that point. And to be honest, I think Matt might have thought that I wasn't maybe, all there, which is fair enough because I knew what I was saying. But the greatest thing was, after an hour of chatting with Matt said, "Okay, I've got to go to my next meeting. I'll love to meet you again. Can I grab your phone number?" And as Matt picked up the phone, the time was 3:16. And look, guys, I'll be honest. Like, I see the number 3:16 more often, and I have over the many years, and it just shows that God is with me there. But for me, that's how He talks to me sometimes to encourage me if I'm going through a hard time or a hard day. Even the other morning, I went for a bushwalk to spend time with the Lord, and I got back in the car, and the meter reader on my car is 3:16 again. So it just constantly comes back. But the point I was saying with that, once again, it's about relationship, and He'll meet you where you're at, and He's there, and he's real, and He's a gentleman. He's not going to force you to come to know Him. He's not going to force you to come believe Him, because we've all been given free will, and that's the free will to love Him or to not love Him. So all I can encourage each one of you guys to do is, if you seek Him genuinely, as it says in His Word, you will meet Him. That's for sure. So, guys, if I can encourage you, that it's the biggest thing is relationship. As it says on the shirt, relationship. It's not about religion. It's not about following certain rules to make it to heaven or this and that, or being part of this community following this rule. It's about a relationship with God Himself, and He'll meet you where you are at in a way that you'll understand. Okay?
And God will never hire you.